Can good government make us happier? Possibly. Can bad government ruin our happiness? Absolutely. Here's the problem. Large corporations prey on misery. They can only grow when you, the consumer, we used to call them people, feel unsatisfied. You're afraid. You want. You need. So you buy. When corporations and government shack up together, policy sounds like marketing, and vice versa. Welcome to corporatocracy. To help explain how corporatocracy undermines happiness here in the States, I called on 3 of Britain's top experts. Maybe these fresh eyes will be able to see what many of us can't. Bingo, Trudy, Nigel, say hello to the nice Americans.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hats off to the US of A. Where's that luscious redhead? Day off?
You mean Liz?
Danny boy, you're a hero. I loved that what's it you did on global warming.
Pshaw.
Poor little penguins.
Bad bit of luck about Georgie II, what. We felt the thumping all the way to number 10 Downing Street.
Where's that animator? Here we go. Places, everybody.
The sooner we get this over with, the sooner we get to the pub.
Break a leg, Danny. Sorry. Ouch.
Good Lord, I'm not made of clay.
Why do so many Americans feel unhappy? Let's start with a big one. The gap between rich and poor. It's a gap that grows a little every day, thanks to tax cuts for the rich, corporate welfare, and war.
I'm poor, and he's rich, and that stinks. I'm unhappy.
A progressive tax system asks more of the rich and increases overall happiness because it spreads the wealth around.
Look, Trudy, Nigel's learning to share.
Brilliant. Taxing the rich will help the Yanks pay for healthcare and improve education. Maybe some of them will learn to pronounce nuclear. I feel happier already.
I'm snookered. I can't afford to buy as much stock in Halliburton this year.
Sorry, Nigel. Remember the cardinal rule. Create the most happiness for the most people.
That takes it. My bloody water's stopped.
Don't worry, I called him a ambulance.
Another thing that makes us unhappy is corporate advertising. Corporations depend on making us fearful, envious, and miserable, so we don't think we need whatever it is they're selling. The more we watch, the more unhappy we become.
Hello, gorgeous. I live in this gorgeous house with my gorgeous wife. I have a gorgeous job and take gorgeous vacations. I owe it all to Quag Balm and deodorant. Don't you wish you were gorgeous too? If you're not using Quag Balm, terrorists could track your distinct body odour. Forced to flee into exile, you could end up wandering through scary wilderness places.
Thank goodness the oil companies made these lovely new roads, so we'll never have to depend on Hugo Chavez to sell us cheap heating oil again.
No, this can't be happening. They promised.
What's wrong now, love?
One bloody bar!
You might just lose your will to live. Why risk losing everything? Order Quag Balm today.
The government used to limit corporate advertising. At the very least, corporate shills had to tell the truth. Now, anti-consumer judges give giant companies the same free speech granted to people.
Hey kids, I've got everything. How very happy am I?
Look, mates, I've got nothing. I'm supposed to say, if I had a credit card, I could be happy again. But the truth is, that's a lot of bollocks. You're living in a corporate oligarchy, and the only way out is revolution.
Nike, the revolution is at your feet.
A lot of the unhappy policies of today come from mythologies that refuse to die. For example, the American ideal of a home in the suburbs was a great dream in 1950, after World War II, when everybody smoked and nobody wore seatbelts. But we now know that commuting is a big cause of unhappiness.
I didn't need Stephen Hawking to figure that one out, mate. Get that destroyer moving, Skipper!
I say, good show.
I'm not talking about road rage, my friends. Commuting affects your happiness because of the time it wastes. One Harvard University study shows that for every 10 minutes you spend commuting, you give up 10% of your social life.
Hey, Daniel, what's government supposed to do? Tell people to stop living where they want, stop having kids, and stop watching the telly?
Trudy, can you explain it to him?
Delighted. The US government, unbeknownst to those whose Labour supports it, plays the role of self-appointed referee in the game of happiness by taking sides on everything from the parameters of a just war to the rights of the people to speak out, the way I'm doing now.
Fabo, rock on, girl.
Can we pick up the pace a bit? It's half past tea time.
Politicians constantly define what is normal and codify it with a series of laws. We know, for example, that having children does not make us happy. The anxiety and worry make children a slight negative to our happiness. But government encourages every act of procreation with tax breaks.
That's money in the bank.
The same is true of how we live and get around. Government makes it easy to build homes far from city centres where we work by subsidising oil companies and bailing out automakers. Then politicians create zoning laws that limit density and give us tax breaks for buying giant isolated homes. Some call that middle-class welfare. Renters, instead of getting rewarded for using fewer resources, get punished.
Hey! Bloody landlords.
Sorry, chaps, but some of us like making money from corporations.
But are you happier?
Happier? Who said anything about happiness?
You missed the point, Nigel. All the research shows that money doesn't make you happier once you get past basic needs. You see, the whole system is backwards. These Americans are their own worst enemies.
So many lucky men, restless in the midst of abundance. Isn't that what Alexis de Tocqueville said?
Hey, not all of us. The people who watch Liberty News TV get it.
That's right. They like a good laugh.
Liberty. That's the same rubbish we heard back in 1776.
Some lessons bear repeating.
I think it's clear that when politicians and corporations are in cahoots, it makes us unhappy. Now, quickly, Bingo, what do we do about it?
Throw the bums out and start over. Unless they're willing to throw the lobbyists out first.
It's that simple.
Anyone else fancy a pint?
Yes, a drink. My head is spinning.
Thinking has that effect sometimes. You coming, Danny?
I'll be right along. Government alone can't make us happy, of course. But when politicians act in the interest of people, not corporations, happiness lies within our grasp. Let's demand that our government treat us as citizens, not consumers. What do you say?
All aboard!
Come on, Daniel!
Howdy-ho!
I'm right behind you. See you next month, everybody. And remember, there's only one thing better than being happy: helping someone else find happiness.
Do you think I sounded like a housewife?
Well, I suppose you did once in a while.
She's
But overall, I thought
I think
you
I drank too
very
much.
well. I think you tried very hard.
Oh, thank you very
You see,
much.
I know what I'm talking about. I did weekly rep for 3 years.
Oh,
but-
please, I don't want to hear that again. It's
I
all I